Welcome, everybody. This is the capital planning meeting, February 1st, 2024. We have a full quorum, but I am still going to call the meeting to order and do a roll call vote.
Madeline Call.
Mark Hussey.
And Teresa A. Morse are all present. This meeting is being recorded and it will be live on Channel 7. I have no additions or deletions to the meeting. Does anybody else?
I do not.
I do not.
Okay, we are going to item 1.4. We are going to approve the minutes, and I'd like to, if possible, take this in all one motion. Approve the minutes from October 24th, 2023, November 28th, 2023, January 23rd, 2024, and January 30th, 2024.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from October 24th to 2023, November 28th, 2023, January 23, 2024, and January 30th, 2024.
Second that motion?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion carries. Okay, first, we're going to pass item 2.1 and proceed to item 2.2. Our first presentation is going to be from the facilities department head, and he's going to represent his present his capital expense request for his department. Give me a second, I'm going to share my screen and bring that up. Do you want to start talking about it while I'm bringing it up here and just give us the basics?
Sure. We're here working on the capital plan for the next, what are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. To start off with the first one is Memorial Hall exterior repairs. We did have some monies that were left over from different projects. The town administrator, Eric, put a state submittal out to have most of the rotted woodwork and some trim painting done, but all the bids came back. We didn't have enough money. So I'm asking for 25,000 for FY 25, so we can put this back out on the street and start the work as soon as possible, so we can maintain the perpetuity to this building, this historic building.
What building is this? The
Right here, Memorial Hall.
Memorial Hall?
But they started with 86 and they haven't done it. 86 is,
Well, it was done, but over the years, everything with the weather and, everything is, paint started to fade. The original sashes on the building are start to all rot and lift.
This isn't the first time we've asked for it either, right? Yeah.
No,
I've heard this before.
Yeah.
correct.
And you haven't gotten it.
And we haven't gotten
No.
it. So what we did, we had monies left over from different projects.
Yeah, yeah.
And we try to combine that and we try to put it out in the street, at least to start something, so it doesn't
Right.
turn into a major project. So
Right.
we have to go to the State Historic Commission
Mhm.
and try to file for a grant. And then we're gonna wait several more years. Then we're gonna have windows falling out of the building and, the rain's gonna start to come in through the sashes, and
Well, not only that, those are stained glass windows.
Those are
But
stained
you
glass
need to
windows.
protect those too.
Mhm.
and that's on another
Oh,
note that I have
okay.
here.
So just for my own knowledge, because I'm kind of all new to part of this, even though, when we do anything to the Memorial Hall, does that have to be worked through historical commission as well?
We're not changing anything. We're not changing anything. Of course, it's gonna go through,
You have to go.
but
Okay.
we're just maintaining what is there.
Okay,
So we're not altering anything.
No,
but you do discuss it with them and bring them into the conversation?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
we'll bring it right to their attention. Then we've already spoke to them and they're in favor of getting this
Oh,
done,
absolutely.
so we don't end up spending more money.
Uh-huh.
Especially where the sashes are going and everything else, we really take care of the building.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it can come up and ask for a big chunk of money and, have the whole building.
So
Because
this
the
20
building, we're gonna have to have done in quadrants, the
Right.
worst
Sure.
first, and then we're
Right.
gonna work our way around the building.
So help me understand, you didn't put it under like planning and site and development, you put it all under, so what is other? So what's the 25, so you put all 25K under
The
other?
25,000, we wanna add what we have left over for money.
Okay,
Can I ask how much that is that you have left over?
Eric had the figure,
Yeah,
figures,
approximately.
but, I think it was under 100,000.
So it'd be about 125 or 100,000 that you'd be spending then.
Correct.
Okay.
And, if you go around and take a look at the outside of the Memorial Hall, the Great Hall windows, up from the, HR,
Mhm.
Sabrina's office, you'll see what I'm talking about, and it doesn't get any better when you go around to the land use office off of that flat roof on the entryway. And then, of course, you look out these windows, the town administrator windows, and, it just, it's been a long time,
So you couldn't do anything with what you got. You need another 25,000.
at least just to get this thing
Just to
out
get
on the
it set
street
for
and
it.
start the rotted, trim.
and the
repaint.
original money was approved in what year?
It was,
know if it was ever approved.
it was never approved. We were just using our
Okay.
leftover funds that was in the books from different projects.
Gotcha. Okay,
We've just never had the money to.
okay, got it.
Right,
Let's move on to the library roof.
and is that under, okay,
The next tab for me. I have that in 2007, but
27, right?
yeah.
okay, 27, or you want to go in order?
Oh, I thought, to me, it's
Okay,
the
okay,
next
all right,
tab.
yeah, you're
I'm
right.
sorry.
Okay, so the library roof, that's, it says it's a flat roof. We have several leaks ever since I've been employed with the town.
It's a rubber roof, remember?
It's that new white engineered membrane roof.
Yeah.
That, supposed to reflect the sunlight and everything.
Mhm.
But I think most of the problem is when that building was built, they used 24 by 24 cement tiles to catch the snow and ice off the rotunda, the circle top of the building, down to the flat roof.
Oh, and they probably corroded on the roof.
Though corroded on the roof and people walking on them, what have you not, and snow and ice, it punctured and through the cafe, through some parts of the library, especially the children libraries, we have water running down the walls. And now we just found a new leak. And I think the guy before me, that was the facilities manager, really never had a lot of funds to work with. So when I
Is it
started,
like a skylight up there? Is that what they would?
that's in the children's room. Those are not leaking. It's just
Okay.
it seems to be the outside
Where they
perimeter
put the block.
where they put the
Yeah,
block,
yeah.
and
Okay.
it could even be the bullnose decorative cement work that's
Yeah.
getting pushed through. But we've tried, Gogan Construction that built the building, came back and they made an attempt, and it's just, it's not working. So it's not like getting it fully, lifted and redone. It's gonna be repairs, what they can find and patch.
So I am gonna take your advice, so I'm going back to 2025. So Memorial Hall storm?
Storm windows, okay. So getting back to this project, I have a little newspaper article that I came up when I was going through the library. It was going back from, where is this? I said
86.
88.
88. So the Historic Commission, they asked for $15,000 for protection of Lexan glass for the outside windows for protection, to protect the stained glass. And I guess the people on the other side of the table on the budget thought well, what do we need Lexan stained glass? How about if we go with chicken wire? Well, chicken
Yeah.
wire wasn't there.
Protect,
Chicken wire wasn't for rocks to be thrown. It was to protect the glass and the window sashes and the wood that holds the stained glass in. Instead, we ended up with storm windows inside the building, which totally defeat the purpose.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now with the deterioration from all the sashes that I need that extra money from, when they get repaired, the worst windows that gets fixed, I need something to protect them.
Okay. And
go over
we
the
had
wood.
money from Green Communities. How did that not get into this project? Because I thought it
You
was
know,
supposed to.
I don't really think Green Communities is gonna,
Yeah,
although they are
Verizon did-
single pane windows.
Yeah. But I thought Rise Engineering had that as one of the items that they were
It
gonna
wasn't
be
under,
doing.
they're gonna be starting this building next week for the,
Right.
winterization, but that's only insulation. That's
It's
nothing to
not-
do with the windows.
Windows didn't
Because
make it.
it wouldn't make it because it's a historic building and, this would,
You'd have to redo the windows, you have to do it in kind, what they're made of.
that's right,
You
that's,
can't put thermal.
Is that why it
Yeah.
didn't make it?
and,
Okay.
and so.
Because of historical
Is
nature
we
of
can
it.
either take this under consideration and move on to the next thing and bring that up in a meeting with the
Yeah,
select.
I just,
Is there any ARPA money left? Can
no,
that be used
no,
for
it's all
now?
been,
It's all gone?
it's all been dispersed. Okay, what do you want to move on to next? 26?
Okay, so on FY 26, I have boilers. So that, right now, currently, we have, these were all put in when the building was revamped. There's 5 boilers downstairs. They will all work in conjunction with each other, but it's,
Like twinned.
they try to keep up. One will fire the second, the third, the fourth, all the way up to the
Yeah, right,
fifth, and they'll go
Yeah.
they'll go back. So we did get some news through the Green Communities, some
gonna
programming,
say.
VFDs and what have you not. So we have soft start motors, so they don't take up energy, they're not running at 100%. They go by the outside temperature, and they'll either shut down, they'll come back on, or they'll throttle down to 50%. That could be a Green Communities grant for the new boilers. Frankly, I think we only need 2 gas-fired boilers with,
For the whole building,
and take out the 5.
just upsize them.
Yeah, if we had like a couple Wells McLean
And
Alta
if we get
750s like they
another
have over the,
200,000, that might be a place to put it. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
All right, so we go on to 27.
Sure.
I have carpets, Memorial Hall.
Can I ask you a question? Why is Memorial? You're talking about the big hall over here? Or this hall?
No, the whole building is
The whole building
Memorial,
is
the
considered
town hall, I should
Memorial
say.
Hall.
Right. Why is it covered in that room? I mean, why?
No, that's not the great room. I'm talking about the offices.
Oh, the office,
Throughout
okay.
Memorial
Oh, all
Hall,
right.
throughout Town Hall. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
all
I
right.
should have been,
Right, okay.
used a different wording. So you take down in the tax collector's office, the carpets are pretty well shot in quite a few offices. And I'm looking, either we do carpet squares, 24 by 24. So they're gonna have to get some kind of movers in here with the project to move some of this heavy stuff around, some professionals, so they can do part of the floor, get that stuff over in dollies and do the rest and put the stuff back in. We can start with my goal is at least 3 offices and then go on to the meeting room. I mean, they are shot, the carpet, and I'd like to make it more appealing to the taxpayers coming in to pay their bills and do business here.
Right.
And it goes for the veterans office. And, they're just plain worn out.
Yeah.
Some of them I try to clean and they just turn to dust.
Yeah.
Mhm. Got that?
All right. We're still on 27. We're gonna go on to, replace outside mini splits on Memorial, for Town Hall. The Katie Kazanjian was very instrumental to find $40,000 left over from the past facilities manager. So I was using that, and I'd like to move forward. That money is, I got it down, I think 13,000. And I'd like to get another 18 to finish up another one on the other side. Just like you see up here, this mini split, the brand new one,
Oh, yeah.
that's just not an AC unit, that's a heat pump.
Yeah.
Am I
So
looking
that
at the
does-
wrong thing here?
Up here,
Right here.
to the left.
No, to your left, that's what I've been
Yeah,
putting
but I
in.
know, but
Oh,
is this the rec center mini split? or
No,
am I
this
looking
is
the wrong
another
thing?
one. I want to finish up Town Hall
Okay, so I'm
um,
missing a tab.
to replace the outdated, and I have another one for,
I don't see the one on the town hall. Am I missing a tab? Tell me when you see it.
it
Oh.
should say, maybe if you slide over more, you use your arrow.
Memorial Hall repairs, no? Oh, upper lever AC, I see that.
Is that it?
Yep, that's the one we're looking
Okay,
at.
I'm sorry.
Yep,
That's all right, thank you.
so we're
18.
slowly, my goal is to get rid of the, all the original AC condensers outside. And it's making the building look more appealing, because I'm putting them all in a group instead of scattered all out, and some of them are gonna be out of sight, out of mind. So when we get into cooling season, I try to fire up these units, and guess what? The compressor's gone.
Oh, yeah.
The bearings let go. They're over 30 years old now. So they've done their job.
Yeah.
So we're going with the state of the art, and we're using the heat pumps.
Yep.
What they wanted us to do with some of the RISE engineering. So that one is for 18,000. And I'll use the monies left over that I have. The next one, we're in 27, is new heat AC pump for the recreation center, was $12,000. By the time we get to 27, hopefully I'll have some money left over from another project to offset the cost of inflation.
Don't they, do they
Could
even have
these-
AC?
Excuse me, ma'am?
And can these ever be covered under green communities or no?
I bet.
Well,
No, they're
that's a new
real,
install,
specific-
right?
they're
that's a
real
new, that's a new
crazy.
install, but if
Yeah.
we was to go with strictly heat pump,
Yeah,
we would be defeating the purpose, but some of these, we can get rebates.
okay.
Oh,
All the past 4 new ones that went in, we can probably get, I can talk to the town administrator and we can get rebates.
I hear the money's running out, so we need to hurry up.
Well, it's so funny with green communities. Like, you
Yeah.
can't replace fluorescent lights, but you can replace incandescent lights. It's like the
Yeah, they're
rules that
getting
they
rid of the
have.
CFL.
Yeah.
Well, right now, you cannot buy an incandescent lamp in the state of Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
They're outlawed.
LEDs.
Yeah,
So my quick question, the rec center does not have AC at all now, does it? Or window units maybe?
it has one antique air conditioner above the entry door coming in when that was a bank,
Okay, yeah,
and
okay.
when it was a bank.
Yeah.
Is it still run?
No, I bet it doesn't
It-
work.
It works, believe it or not.
Does it really?
It still works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's on its last leg.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it doesn't heat, I mean,
No,
cool.
no, it doesn't. So, that's another one I like to put, so they have 2 heads and it's equally distributed for AC and heat.
Yeah.
So we won't be using as much gas.
Okay,
Now we're on to,
I think we got one left.
29?
29.
Oh, wait a minute.
we're still on
28.
27. You got the library roof again. This is, did I already do that for
Yeah, you already
15?
did that, yeah, because
You
I
look
went,
at it-
I
I'm
went
looking at-
ahead of time.
Okay.
and not
What's
25.
up with the generator in 28?
This is what I'm getting for.
Okay.
Yeah, I just brought it up.
Okay, replacement diesel generator at Memorial Hall. Well, this has been a real thrill of a past year and a half with that generator. Like I said, that generator is, been there since they started to redo this Memorial Hall and
So
when they put the elevator
how many,
in.
how many years?
Well, that thing's gotta be 30 years
Oh,
old,
okay.
30 plus years
Yeah.
old. Well, the thing of it is even though it still runs, it's still dependable. But do we want to go for every time I need diesel fuel, I have to call in a truck from the highway department to
Oh, you
fill
wanna
that.
go gas?
I would like to go gas. You get more, KW out of, gas, natural gas,
Do you
but
really, yeah?
now, yes, you do, because they burn hotter, which delivers
Hotter
more.
than diesel? Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But with that being said, it's kind of a coin toss when this comes, like I said, due to inflation, whether I still will go with a diesel engine because, the gas infrastructure is getting kind of, not so dependable anymore,
Right.
the supply. And I actually think that, some parts of Townsend, Unitil is starving us for gas because when we have a deep freeze, I have a lot of boiler problems at the senior library. I cannot run two boilers in conjunction.
You don't get the pressure?
I don't have the pressure.
That's ridiculous, wow. Wow.
So they did
So
come
is
out, change my regulator, change my meter like they're supposed to do every so often.
Yeah,
They check for leaks and everything, but we're during a real cold snap that goes more than 3 days. I have to call in a contractor and they have to adjust the boilers way out of scope for them to run.
Yeah, wow. So is this generator sized properly for the load?
I'll have to do an engineering study when it comes to that, but it is for a diesel
It's
generator.
sufficient, yeah.
It is sufficient.
Yeah.
It is sufficient. So we're up to 29. I'm on roof of the town hall roof and repoint chimney and foundation. Well, we're talking about a building that's 130. How many years is this building? What's the date on it? 8.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, the foundation in a lot of locations need to be repointed because all the mortar is falling
It's
out.
way over 100 years old.
Yes. So, I would say, you know, where the sun is on the roof, of a lot of portions of the roof, they're getting brittle, the shingles. And also I got a set of binoculars and I looked at the chimney and I said, that thing needs to be repointed as well.
Can we wait till?
So that's a
Well, I would like to
$100,000.
scale it back a year to 28.
Yeah.
But at 100K, it's gonna, that's a big figure.
Yeah,
Okay.
pennies
But that's
away.
a safety thing.
So
Mhm.
I really like your
Yeah.
summary there, and I think we hit on them all.
Did I have one more?
Oh,
The main
library main roof?
library main roof.
I thought I hit that out of order.
That was at 29. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I'd like to ask for reserve some money for that now. By time 29 comes,
There's some-
yeah, and I can, some leftover project monies and we can, I don't know, maybe Green Communities will come out with a better shingle that would be energy efficient and we could apply for that.
So, is there anything that we are applying for green communities?
Right now, we have Green Communities. The engineer just showed up for the,
But that was last,
that's last year. That's
Yes,
just
money.
going on, yeah,
but we just got a new,
grant they're working
Grant.
on now. So this is.
so we
what this-
haven't determined how that grant is being spent yet,
How much
right?
is the grant, do we know?
Well,
200,
How much?
right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak out of school.
No, I know.
I'm gonna let you speak.
well, wasn't really never privy to the exact dollar amount with the Green
Mhm.
Communities because that was done in
Okay,
meetings.
Well, what's on
And I
the
think that was done
town
when
website?
Mrs. Kell was here, Selectman Kell.
Oh,
She was handling the Green Community, so I knew some of the funds that were already done. They were just out here, they finished up the weatherization, all around the garage. They're starting next week on all blown-in insulation, over the attic, over the great room in Memorial Hall.
So I was on that committee. the
So
Green
maybe
Community.
that's the
Okay,
monies from
and
last year,
this
they're
is-
just doing it now.
This is my understanding, and I could, you know me, it could always be wrong. So don't quote me. I will get the facts straight.
Okay,
But on our web page, the Green Communities quoted that we got 199,950. That's what they posted on, oh, you can't see.
Okay.
I'm not sharing, but if you look, that was this. And that, my understanding, needs to be distributed. Now, we also had a similar amount, right? Oh, this is what we've gotten over time, so I don't know which of that,
But I
right? I
remember-
know for sure a bunch of that has already been
Used,
allocated.
that's right.
So what is left of that, I don't know. It could all be allocated, it could be like ALPA.
It is,
already be
because a
done.
lot of that was for the schools.
Right, yes.
And I think, I
So-
think the highway got some, we got some for the town hall, and then the senior center
I
got
can
some.
go online, matter of fact, we can look at it at the next part of the meeting, and I can figure out exactly what went where. But we can also hope that we can get some more coming in the future. Okay, do you have any other questions of us? I know, do we have any other questions of him? If not, I think I saw the fire chief
Yeah,
out
just
there,
one, but
so we'll
everything
bring him
got
in.
redone before, the day before the meeting.
Well, good job,
So,
thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
So I leave these in Eric's office, in case anybody wants to look through. And,
Are those yours? You keep them?
I had those, I found these in the library when I had to get rid of a fire hazard that was back there. They had 15 years of newspapers on
Wow.
shelves, so, yeah.
Oh, there's some good old stuff in there.
There was one I found with,
Yeah, who got married there?
Yeah.
there's one I saw with Mr.
Oh,
Anderson
wow.
standing next to his bride-to-be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Ted?
Yeah,
Really? Which,
Wow.
his, second wife?
yeah, must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, those go back to the 80s.
Oh, this is funny.
But I can leave these here and you can give them back to Eric if you want. One back on his desk, I'll leave them here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
know,
Right?
Gary,
How are you? Is that the hot seat?
Yeah.
No,
Come
you're
through.
fine where you are.
I gotta go grab a cup of ice.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Are you gonna be handy tomorrow, Gary?
Am I gonna be handy?
Or can I get you 5 minutes on the phone tomorrow morning sometime?
I got some stuff going on over there tomorrow.
Okay,
Come around,
all right, as in,
fire station.
okay, all right, because I have a contractor to come in for a quote on that, to fix up what we were talking about
What's
out in the parking lot.
the generator?
Yeah,
They were here.
they were, what,
The generator company was back.
is that just for a yearly PM, or is that,
No, to get the wires run and to get all that done.
okay,
But
All right.
we can talk about that tomorrow.
awesome, all right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hot seat.
Well, thank you very much for coming. First of all, I want to thank you for your patience. We had, in addition to the schedule, he wasn't able to come on Tuesday, and he asked to be stuck in, and we stuck him in before you, and so we appreciate your patience, and much appreciated.
And thank you for all you're all doing.
So you were item 1.1. But we jumped over you, now you're here, and again, I greatly appreciate your patience.
Okay.
Okay. We did get your request here, which is a big request for 120,000 to manage and heavy rescue equipment for 2025, and $135,000 plus for 2006. And then we'll talk about the air pack replacement, 525,000, 2007. So let's start with the 2025. Can you give me a breakdown of what we're looking for there?
So can we can we fly up and then?
Yeah,
give you an
certainly.
overview of where we are? To paint you the picture, we've been pretty aggressive in emergency services in the past couple of years. Sometimes I look at it and and I step back and say, gee, if anybody really pays close attention, they're gonna wonder, what are we doing and why are we spending as much as we have? So we've got 2 new fire engines that are on order. And certainly we appreciate that. Normally those engines would have been around 500,000. We agreed the first one at almost 8, and the second one just 830, I think, 840. So it's 1.6 million. We've also got an ambulance that was on order that we were supposed to have this year, that the town approved 354, came in at 400,000. And we got 2 other trucks and we replaced them. So back to the first fire trucks, we got a letter last fall that said they wanted 11% increase, which was big money. So myself and my liaison, Selectman Shank, went after Seagraves and challenged them on their increase. And they retreated for now. So that's a significant savings. In addition to that, those engines now that used to be 500,000 that we're paying 845 and change are now almost $1 million a piece. Crazy, crazy money. So I think it's good. And these are 30-year trucks, not 20-year trucks. So that's good. And the ambulance, the same thing. We were supposed to receive that in calendar year 24 during the summer. And I was notified, and we were told in December that the truck has arrived at the factory. They're going to begin to outfit it. And I wasn't getting the dates. I wasn't getting the number of things. So I went through the process and got up to the factory. And ultimately, we don't have a cabin chassis there. We don't have a truck. We don't have a serial number. So the truck that was approved for 2024, we won't see until 4th quarter 2025. And it's
A year later?
yeah. Wow. So during my conversation, he said, got some crazy number in front of them. They're going to shut the order bank off until they get caught up. And we can't say we're going to leave PL and go somewhere else because you're not going to get an ambulance any faster. And if you look at what happened in Winthrop last week, I don't know if anybody paid attention to that.
Oh,
I
yes.
did.
They didn't have an ambulance, and a two-year-old girl died in the backseat of the chief's cab being transported to Mass General. So the short answer is I think we've been very proactive. We're paying attention to that. We're watching what's going on with the area hospitals that potentially closing. And in order to be able to maintain the standard of living, we felt pretty comfortable that between the Lucas, between the ventilators, between ultrasounds that we have in our ambulances, between all of those tools that we have to monitor, it's probably good that we got them. One, we're hedging the increases that have been going on, and 2, we're getting the equipment, maybe not in the time frame that we want, but we're getting it. So the rescue equipment, now digging a little
Can I
bit.
stop just for 1 minute? Do you anticipate a higher price for the ambulance because we're waiting another year?
No, we got a lock on it.
Okay, thank you. I want to,
But I also pushed back. We got a $25,000 contingency in it, and I've been drilling into them that look at, you wanna add a year, and you get 25,000.
right,
You're gonna increase to take that 25,000 up. I want you to back off that 25,000 and not make it 400,000, make it 375. I said, well, maybe we could go with 380. So that conversation's ongoing.
yeah. I was just, wondering about if it was gonna go up, like the fire truck they tried to do already.
I think if you're not paying attention, it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Oh,
And,
good. Thank you for paying attention.
And it may still happen, but that may be a good segue, Mark, to say, we're 3 years out, and those ambulances have to be in operating condition so they don't have the problems that are pretty prevalent in the news.
Yeah,
We may be looking at making a recommendation to order an ambulance that's 3 or 4 years away,
like we do with the trucks.
so that we've got it in queue. And I would not have thought that 6 months ago, certainly a year ago, or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
But this capital plan, 26 and 27 have been in place for a few years. There's a note on there for another engine. I'm not willing to do that. We had nothing for 2025, and then in order to preserve, and we had this conversation in December, $800,000 ladder truck, which is gonna be 15 years old, which you're not gonna buy another ladder truck now for less than $1.5 million. We put that short money rescue truck in, and the technology on the ladder truck with the jaws of life is hydraulic. It's 40 years old. We're now going to lithium battery that we're not tethered to a hydraulic hose that could break or pop or rupture. And that was a $60,000 expense that I think we've navigated our way through. The monitors that we used to spend 15 to 20 now are 30, and we've got to get another monitor. It's not warrantyable, guaranteeable, and at some point it's gonna fail and they're gonna say, we're not gonna repair it. So that is why it went up to 120 when I was thinking it was gonna be at 90. But when it was at 100, we backed off for some of the things we have on our list. We've got some grants and we've got some other equipment. We've got some stuff that we're gonna be able to pull off of some of the trucks that we already have and put them on that heavy rescue. So that 120,000 is inclusive to some of the equipment that I've already bought. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay for it on a plan. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I gotta pull it out of my budget over time. And it's a health concern, and enough of one that we made the decision already. So specifically, we've talked about a flat bottom boat and that blows up on an air tank. We've talked about flak jackets and ballistic helmets. We've talked about cold water rescue. We've talked about winter operations. And I put emergency management in there because emergency management's only been funded at $5,000 a year forever. And now that the fire department has control over it and we've drilled down into it, myself and Deputy Chief William Elliott, who's going to be the director, is the director for emergency management, has to answer to me, and ultimately I'm responsible for it. And his deputy director is Jeff Cormier. We've done a little bit of a deep dive to say, if we have a problem in Townsend, how do we support that? Because the $5,000 that's been coming to the town for the past 15 years, they did a great job with the direction they were going, but 2,500 was for payroll, 2,500 was for equipment. You can't buy any equipment for 2,500 bucks. So this 120 outfits that heavy rescue, so that in the event that there isn't some type of event that we have to mobilize, have electrical generation, have tents, set up a fallout shelter, cart the cots and the food and all that stuff, that truck also serves in it. And there will be a day when the fire EMS operation and all that capital equipment gets online, it will drop back, and capital planning should probably look at emergency management and say, to fund emergency management is gonna take something. I don't know if it's 25, 35, 45, 50,000 bucks, but it's gonna take something to get some of that equipment out, because we don't need dog cages, we don't need cat food and all that stuff. We need to make sure that people that are shut in their houses on oxygen, or that hospitals aren't gonna keep over, have the equipment they need with generators and the ability to power those generators and make sure all that is operative. And that's the direction that we're going. And this heavy rescue and the emergency management all in one truck, as like I said, it's got battery operated jaws of life. It's got other battery operated equipment, sawzalls, things like that we may need to use to access houses. It's got the boats that you're familiar with in the Navy, so that if we ever have a high water event, we can use it for that. We can use it for cold water. If somebody goes through the ice, we can pump it up, pull it out onto the ice and operate off of it as a platform. If in the event, heaven forbid, there's ever a shooting or something like that, and there was a shooting in Brookline, a couple of our officers were recognized for doing life-saving measures on the guy that was shot. We need to make sure that the people that are going in have that ballistic gear. Now, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, we might not have ever thought of that, but I think we've got to spend $1,000 in ballistic gear to make sure our people are protected. So that's the very high level of the 120,000.
So were you still anticipating taking this out of the ambulance fund?
So that's a good question. So we've completed our budget. Anybody here on finance?
Or not?
Okay. So what you're gonna see on, I'll get to the answer. Nothing is as quick and easy as it could be.
Sure.
I think it's gotta be a collective conversation. So we've had ARPA for a couple of years, and this past year, there was some money was taken out of our budget, set aside, and we're gonna put it back in. And I, from the beginning, have said that we gotta be thinking that this budget's gonna hit $1.7 million, and we're there. So how much comes from ambulance reserve receipt account? Now, what I can tell you is that our transports are high enough and our revenue increases are high enough that we used to be anything over 600, we were told we could keep. And that was good. And we didn't really spend it. And now, as of today, I'm at 600, 594, 596, somewhere in there, call it 600,000 for our fiscal 24 ambulance reserve receipt account. If we track it appropriately and project it the way we're going, we should fall somewhere between 800,000 and 900,000. And if we look at what the town funded the fire EMS and emergency management budget last year, and then were to take the difference out of the ambulance reserve receipt account, then, you know, we could come in about that same level. I'm not sure what the funding from the town was, but I expect it was somewhere around $800,000 and $900,000, and then the difference came from us, and we paid for the ambulance.
Right.
So, whether or not to get to that 1.7, we use $700,000 of the ambulance reserve receipt account to reduce that. We take 600,000 and then buy this out of capital plan. I think everybody's gonna be at the table for that one.
Okay.
The good news is we've got more than $600,000 to come to the table.
Oh, it's always been you guys do a great job with that, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know what we're gonna even have for capital money this year. I don't
We
think
never
any of
know,
us
though.
do. We never know to the
We
end,
never do.
and it's never a lot of money. It really isn't. So that's just why I asked that question.
I think if push came to shove, you know, if all things being equal,
Mm-hmm.
the town only wanted 600,000. We recognize that the ARPA funds that we've been living on, because the federal government allowed emergency services to use ARPA, so some of our funding that would have been supported normally from town revenues and cherry sheets was kind of moved someplace else, and ARPA was put in that place. We expect that we gotta maintain that level of service, and if we don't, then the town has to make that decision. They have to say,
Right.
we're not gonna do that. In the event that there's a problem in air at that hospital, which is pretty common knowledge that there's a challenge, we don't know what it is, and it's none of our business. But if we wake up someday and they say, hey, you can't transport to air, you've now got to transport somewhere further.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a surprise to me.
We have to do this with our eyes open, much like the equipment, to say, if people are gonna be out of town longer, if the air that they need in transport is higher, that's an expense.
Understood.
In my experience, I've been in this town too long.
No, Teresa,
Since the 70s. But we've experienced several different type of emergency management type of, scenarios. Which in your scenario would you feel we're least prepared for as a town?
So, the TV's on.
I think we need to know that. I think we need to be able to go and say, well, we might not have the money in the budget yet, but we have the ability to take out bonds. We have the other ways to get money. And in my opinion, being prepared for emergency is one of our most important duties as representatives of the town.
So you asked a loaded question that I have an answer for. And as I've been entrusted to do the job to make sure that we're equipped and have a platform to operate, to preserve and protect life and property, we have to look at it. We also have to take a greater look at what's going on in the country around us, not just in Townsend or Middlesex County or Massachusetts or New England. And anything that captures the news, for those that may do it, they sensationalize the excitement
Isn't that true?
of doing something. So we cannot say it'll never happen here. We have to prepare that it could happen here. And if it does, how do we deal with it? And we are prepared for that. And I made it crystal clear with our administrative staff and emergency services, we don't advertise our plan, because if I
Right,
told you what our
obviously.
plan was, you could try to find a hole in that.
Mhm.
So that's one very serious piece, and that's why ballistic gear, and some military trauma kits are available, so that if we ever show up, and we have had shootings, if you look in neighboring communities, we've had people that have died as a result of domestic violence with guns or with knives. We've had a shooting in Brookline, and so we have to think about that. And then the next piece of it is that we have to look at anything that's naturally occurring, whether it be a flood like happened in Leominster, or one of these rainstorms that turns into an ice storm or a snowstorm and drops out power, and then we've got 20
Now,
or 30.
we experienced what, a 15, 16-day power loss here a few
No,
years
it was-
back?
No, it was more than that, yes. It was December, it was
It was almost 3
2011.
weeks. It was
Yeah,
almost
that's right.
3
But-
weeks.
That's right.
What, do we have lessons learned from that? What did we take away from that?
So, yes, of course. And I think that the local utility is working with us. They have a more active plan that when power goes out. You know, if somebody on some road doesn't have power and they're on oxygen, and you can't get down the road because the wires have got spaghetti, and you've got to get to
Or
them.
children on machines that breathing, it's not just.
How do you get to them? How do you get them out of there if you have to get them out of there? Or how do you keep them safe while they're there? So those lessons, yes, I think we have
You
those.
have, good.
And so that's a part of what we're attempting to do.
But having this type of more easy access, heavy machine, vehicle also would help enhance that plan.
Close the tools. So let's
Yeah.
just imagine. And I'm not trying to withhold, I am absolutely not going to release information that could compromise someone.
Yeah.
But let's imagine power lines go down, trees are down, and then someone has an accident 1.5 miles into the woods or down a road that we can't access. We gotta have equipment that we can get in there that's not tethered to a truck, or we do primitive stuff. So that's the direction we're going.
Okay. Thank you.
And I recognize where folks are at. Just to be clear, I'm not here to threaten. I'm not here to say this is how it has to be. I'm here to paint you a picture, and collectively we try to solve it. And if not, we make the best decision with what's available to do what we can. If you say to me there's nothing available, as I said to you with the Hearst tools, we'll figure it out. If you said to me there's X amount available, then we're gonna prioritize where we're at.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions I want to say here?
No.
If I may, the protected bunker gear at 135 is, you know, a lot of guys have died, even guys in town have been sick, very sick. Some have died. And we've got to give them the gear that they need, and whether or not there'll be grants available is yet to be determined, but some of that stuff will expire soon. The air pack's the same thing, and we're biting heavily on grants for that.
Why wouldn't that start this year and be on a rotation schedule?
Well,
I like the vest the police do, and, yeah.
what, with a cruiser?
No, with the cruiser, with
Well,
the
with the
vest that
vest
they
that
buy,
they-
the protective vest. They're on a
Rotation.
rotation with this every so many years.
So they're expensive. There's gonna be other challenges with this unavailability and a number of other pieces that go with that, and we could
Okay.
probably look at that. However, the way it's set up right now, a lump of them come in. It may have been 250,000 at the time, and then 20 years later, they're cycling out and it's 525,000.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And we have to think about an ambulance, whether we say that's a nice thought and we table it, but at some point in time, 3 or 4 years away, we're gonna need to replace it, or we're gonna be transporting folks differently than we're accustomed to.
And you're talking because of the supply chain to get starting early, am I correct?
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just trying to be
Oh,
proactive.
that was my one other question.
And I thought
The-
that, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, the equipment, is there a supply chain issue with the equipment you need to get?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay,
I think we're okay. And, you know, all the big stuff we've got, we will find a way to make it work.
okay.
It may not be pretty, and there could be some casualties, but we'll do our jobs.
You always do.
Anything else I can do to confuse?
No?
No,
I think we're
I
set.
appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
When's finance coming to us?
Tuesday, no, not Tuesday,
No, wait.
Thursday. I got it right here. Thursday, the 8th,
February,
yeah,
for 5?
finance, oh, that's for finance, I'm sorry. We haven't, I don't think we decided who was, Kathy's coming first, and from there we're taking off,
Right, so.
yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, so
you
we
didn't give
do
a date
have,
to the
Kathy and
fire.
Eric comes first and then the rest of.
Yeah, well, because then we're meeting the 13th, the 15th, the
We're meeting
22nd,
Twice a
27th.
week from. till now
Right, so
till
we'll
March.
slide you in, I'm sure Dawn will give you a yell.
I think it's. but I
We're
think
just gonna
it's-
get
I think
a
it's the
crap
following
together on the
month.
8th, for sure.
Well, we hope
Make a-
we can find a way, because that is gonna be absolutely the critical piece for so
Yeah.
many folks for the year to come.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll make sure and get in touch with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't.
Oh, we don't know yet.
We don't know that. So,
Everything, you know, it's so sad because everything's important, everything.
Oh, yeah,
Everything.
Yeah,
and I still don't understand how, with such a good bond rating, that we as capital planning can say, I understand we don't have a capital plan, but we recommend that you take this group, let's say we come up with a lot of money, let's say we do come up with $500,000, just and put it out to bond because we need this, yeah. Like, why isn't that an option? Or is it an option?
I don't know. Do you?
no, I don't, and
And I
actually,
think you're probably right. I think
It is
we
an
probably-
option.
It is.
if it is an option,
But I don't know.
it's
how-
something we should look at.
If they can't put it in, it seems like every year, if it can't fit into the schedule, like, let's just take the $30,000 for the police record, right? It didn't fit into the schedule, so it's just like, we'll look at it next year.
Yeah, but
like,
we've
to
been
me,
looking at
look-
it for the last 3 years.
Right.
Right, with a bunch of other things, but that is
Right,
definitely,
But
on-
that's right.
So maybe
It was
we
like,
should-
why didn't you just write a bond for it? I like, we have such a good bond rate and we are not even close. I checked, we're not even close to what our bond limit. needs to
nobody, I
be.
don't know if anybody ever looked at that as an option.
Why don't we? put
Or,
that
you know-
Down for finance to,
We should bring that up at our
Okay.
meeting, yeah,
yeah.
we should.
I
Because
kind
we
of
never
agree
get,
with
there's
you
no
on that.
funding in the budget, there is nothing for capital planning.
Very little.
Very-
No, I don't think there's anything, it's not even a line item. If, you correct me, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's even a line item,
It is.
is it?
It is. I just don't remember what it is.
Okay, 25,000. It used to be always 50, it used to be. But,
Okay, so what I'd like to try to do is try to go through this and see where we are and maybe get together once more, or we could even try to finish it up today. Okay,
And so
so,
where do we start?
okay. I think, let's start with the Council on Aging.
can you share your screen?
Okay,
Just
Council on Aging.
sharing my screen.
And so what would we all like to do? Rate them tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4? One being
Well,
high.
I just,
Well, I mean, I have a good idea of what I want already
Well, I do too.
because of,
well,
you know. So, well, however you guys want to do it.
okay. So let me share my screen.
Well, we can list them and then we could rate them and then But I like the idea of the bonding,
Well, we should discuss that,
absolutely.
you know?
Because we're getting further and further behind, and you know, not taking care of this building is,
It's
Yeah.
sad,
Terrible.
it's sad, yeah.
Okay, so Council on Aging, they only wanted $50,000 to put their truck in, which would also help if we get the DAV truck. But the question I have here, I think we have to put this on a lower thing, because why is it not in the garage?
Correct.
Okay,
And I-
what
and-
happened,
We
what
should
happened to
have-
the transportation plan, that the car comes out, that car's being sold, the
Right.
auction's being up, that car's coming out, why is it not being moved in the garage?
well, I don't know why it's not, but is Rob's office over there? But he only takes up one bay if it is. How many
Yeah,
bays
I
are
don't
there?
Is
know.
it in the garage?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought he was there.
I
Another
think it
thing
is.
to consider with this fifty
I don't think he
thousand,
will, I really don't think, I think he's supposed to be at the
Highway department?
but I don't think that's really reasonable. All of his buildings that he takes care of are up here. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense that he's down there.
But I can certainly see supporting this, especially if we can get it covered by a bond. But
but
it
we have
has
to,
be
they also have to
lower.
consider, like I brought up yesterday, that they're gonna need electricity brought in there, that's not in here.
It's
You
not
can't,
that
right,
50,000, no.
But
Right.
she said she kind of looked at it and the price was like 40, so she did put an extra $10,000 in.
And does the 40 include constructing or erecting the building?
In what type of building? It was a metal building, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it must have a garage door, and
I would think so.
I would assume you're gonna want electricity, lights,
Yeah.
you know, things like
Exactly,
that,
you can have
so.
automatic.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking the project at all,
No,
I'm
I'm
just
not
saying
either.
it may cost more than the 50.
Okay,
Okay,
the
so,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Good.
The next one is the police, basically it's $35, 35,000, that's my number one. I'm tired of that being
Yeah.
pushed to.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
absolutely, that has been my number one, yeah. And it's not a lot of money,
No, it's 35,000,
yeah, and it completes, it gets them off the list.
right. Okay, who's next?
Then to me, I would put whatever we can give the firemen out of the 120,
Yes.
whether it's bond or fire.
Well,
I mean,
we-
excuse me, whether it's bond, whether it comes from his,
Back from him?
ambulance or half and
Yeah,
half.
half
or-
and half
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah. He seemed to be
ultimately,
agreeable to that. so.
ultimately ends up at 120.
Right.
But it's gonna be not until totally 120,
Right,
whatever.
and this is on a truck that we got real cheap anyways,
And
right?
yes,
Or even-
right.
I thought, yeah,
But after seeing what happened in Fitchburg, after
Yeah.
Oh,
living
yeah.
3 weeks
Terrible,
without
yeah.
electricity and
Yeah.
having nobody able to get down there because they didn't have a
Yeah.
truck that went down my driveway.
Oh,
And
Oh,
they-
yeah.
I would totally support that.
and I think he's right about, being prepared for
Mhm.
the unknown.
Right.
Really.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and I hear that all the time.
$5,000 was not, $5,000 really wasn't enough to cover anything.
No.
Right. And people are
Right.
scared. People, as.
Absolutely. It's a different world out there
Well,
now.
back in the day, they
Different
bought
world
vests,
out there.
you know,
And,
vests and,
25
yeah.
Yeah.
and when I was young, I was scared of nothing. You know, when you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
older, you.
Crazy world now.
I think part of that is though too, I just like, things just sort of happen.
And then we had,
So we had nothing from water. We'll talk about
Nothing
facilities.
for water. Okay.
Facilities, who else do we
what
have?
did he want this year for facilities total? 25, 15, and
Let me
30?
pull up
Mhm.
facilities.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Okay, 25, 15 for the library roof and,
60,000, right?
and exterior storm windows for Memorial.
Right.
So I thought that this 15 was covered by a donation. But it might not be anymore.
Right.
Might not be anymore, yeah. Who knows? We don't know.
We don't know.
Oh, the check wasn't written or whatever. Okay.
So I'm not
Yeah.
sure about that.
Yeah.
I really want to entertain that thought about the bond, or that to
Mhm.
me,
This would be
you
a
know,
good place
this
for
would be
it.
a good place to start this,
Oh, yeah.
get it done and over with. You've
Yeah.
asked for it so many times that.
But my only other question is, we said the storm windows couldn't be part of green communities because of the historical nature of the building?
They'd have to be, in kind.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, you know, I
Storm
shouldn't,
windows, though.
I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna find out.
okay,
Because it may fall under some, some crazy law that,
Yeah,
Mhm.
for maintenance of,
Right.
it could be something,
Okay,
so I'll
so-
find out.
let me reach out to the community. And then,
You want me to reach out and?
yeah, and then I want to reach out to, Green Community, because they know the rules on all of
Oh,
that
sure.
as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
And see if it's up part of the plan, and I'll pull up the plan, I think I have the plan on here somewhere too. This.
the trim.
The trim, so,
I think it's more than just trim. I think there's rot,
Mhm.
and he
There's a
wanted
lot
to,
of rot, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
There's replacement of this, of the
I don't know if this-
sashes and the
Sashes.
sills.
right, right. So I don't know if that's what he means by trim, if he's gonna do the sashes
I
too.
think it's
Yeah.
sashes.
It's part of it.
so, yeah, so I always thought like that was, these two kind of went together.
Mhm.
That just seemed high to me if you're doing this, like, don't they
We
do
gotta pay
that?
prevailing wage though,
Yeah.
Okay.
right?
So those numbers
I don't-
look good to you? I don't know.
Well, without a scope of work,
Right,
Yeah.
you
but
don't-
you'd have
you
to
can't-
put them out to bid anyways.
right, right.
yeah,
And then you'd have to look at the scope of work.
Work and whatever, so.
But again, they'd
So
be
whatever.
paying prevailing
That might
wage,
even
so,
be low.
right.
So this one is the one that's the trickiest for me
What's this?
because
What's that?
A recreation,
The-
no, what is that?
the facilities, because it certainly, all of it needs to be done, but there's, like I said, some tricky, was this a donation? Was this
Yeah,
Green Communities?
yeah.
Is this,
Yeah.
part of whatever?
I don't
So
see why you
this
couldn't
one-
put a full-size storm window on the outside
Yeah, on the outside.
and not,
Right. Not.
deter from the building.
I don't see why you couldn't.
As long as it's full-size, you can
Mhm.
see what's behind it.
Yeah,
It's nice.
I think,
So maybe, I think maybe Green Community would,
Yeah, but like I said, I don't know
yeah.
how that all works.
I'll take that to,
But I still like to
Yes, sir.
present that we do want to
HTC.
support it, but I
Yeah.
think this one, in my most opinion, if we don't have the money, I'd like to ask for a bond.
Yep.
To see if we
I,
can
I,
do a
I,
bond.
I
for this.
absolutely agree. And we can talk about that at finance too, right?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to
So-
talk about it.
And then, in my opinion, if we do get it for this year, for the hall, for this year, then we know going forward, we could look at that as a possible solution, but you can't do that year after
No,
year after
no,
year,
it's
because
not.
then you
No.
lose your
Yeah,
bond
right,
rate,
right, right,
right,
right.
and whatever, but at least we know.
But at least you know how many years you've got it when it falls off.
Right, so
Right,
5
and then
years
continue
after it's
on.
paid, then you could try it again for
Because that's
something
not a
else.
whole lot of money either, really,
Right,
if you're gonna
right.
do it
I
that
don't
way.
wanna do it with a big amount
Right.
or anything. Okay, did I get them all?
So we didn't
yeah.
have, cemeteries didn't need any?
No, he doesn't.
No, he
Roger's
didn't
all
have
happy.
anything, no.
Roger's happy?
Roger's happy. Okay, we got fire, we got facilities, we just did them,
We got police
we got
That's
police.
COA.
and COA.
That's,
COA, yeah. So that's everything.
that's it.
So I can type that all up, or if we make a motion, and I'd like to say that I type it all up, give it out to us and present it. You're gonna be at the next, well, they two are, gonna
Yeah,
be at the next finance meeting anyway.
It's not
So-
huge money. It really isn't.
It isn't.
It's not huge money.
No, that's what we need
No,
it
so
for.
if we could do it that way. it would
Yeah.
be-
Check the bond now.
so can we do COA real quick again?
Yeah.
They're gonna have two vehicles and they're only gonna have one garage though, am I right? no matter what.
It's gonna be a double
It's gonna be a
garage,
Oh,
right?
it's a double, no, out here.
Out here, it's a double.
Double.
So they get both ways, okay.
Yeah, they get
That
both.
would be if they were offered it before, they need to get that. I
Yes, exactly.
But
I just don't.
the
know.
only reason I'm still like, if they get it,
don't- Mhm.
it helps me. Because I'm getting
Oh,
DAV van.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Which at the highway department is like heaven, right, for me, because
Yes,
I'll
it
be
would.
one of
would
the
you be able to
drivers.
do it there?
That's where
Yeah,
they're talking
that's
about
Oh,
putting it.
oh, okay,
But
yeah,
I can't, like, what do they call that? Prejudice. I have to obscure myself
Yeah.
from it, that would be in the best interest, my best interest. but, I-
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not the
right,
best
right, you
interest of
can't
the
vote
town.
on that.
Right, I'll have to abstain from that.
Exactly.
No, it's really.
But I'm not making money,
what
I'm
we
a
need it for,
volunteer,
no.
so.
Right. So are we rating them now, or we know 1 and 2? Is that all we gotta do?
No, I don't think I want to present
gonna-
them
Okay.
that
No,
way
but let's
to
Fine.
the
present it
selectmen.
to-
I think
Finance.
that we
Finance
want.
committee.
to
Yeah,
find
okay,
it-
yeah.
So, finance committee is
And the
next.
bond.
Because we can recommend
Right.
what
And
we
then-
want for capital too.
Right, and
Yeah,
then
okay.
we'll say, this is what the plan, we like to recommend to, the selectmen on September 6th. And then you decide at finance
Mhm.
whether you want to change that or
Right,
make any changes.
yeah, no, perfect, yeah,
Right?
that's.
Which
that's
gets a
perfect.
little tricky because the two of you there, you can't vote on it, but you can kind of, right?
Well.
Yeah.
We can vote on
We
No,
have
because you're a
before.
quorum,
Because we're what?
you're a capital
it.
planning.
Because of
quorum.
We'll be a quorum
Oh.
of 2? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So it just gets a little
Well,
tricky,
Tricky.
but you can
We can.
we can, but we can't vote.
We can't
Okay,
vote.
so, all right, okay.
actually,
I'm glad you brought that up.
now I'm thinking about it, you can't discuss it at that meeting. You can't even have discussions
So
on it.
capital, is it just us 4? There's another guy, there's 5 on this.
No,
No, there's only 4?
Yes, of course. Why can't we discuss it?
Because you have a quorum, you can't discuss
Oh, well,
stuff
what
out
is
of
the-
seven.
Talk and the other one. If I stay out of the room for
5 minutes.
5 minutes, can you present it?
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait too. I'll send it to Dom,
Yeah,
and
okay,
he knows the
Yeah,
rule. I'll
okay.
send it to him, but I want to get us on the January 6th agenda, and we'll just discuss it there.
February.
us?
I mean, February.
I said,
January
You're gonna be on that agenda anyway.
I know, but,
oh, is that with the
but
selectmen?
Dixon, yeah, North
Yeah.
Middlesex is gonna be, and they might take a little
The
time,
high school.
high school, and then afterwards you could, yeah.
Because you have a joint meeting that night too.
We don't
so-
have a meeting before that, do we? We're not meeting before the meeting.
No, 8th and then the 13th is the next.
Oh, you don't meet finance till the 8th?
Right,
Oh, so it doesn't
Because-
matter.
yeah,
Yeah.
because,
So I wanted you to meet with the select board on the 6th.
We are meeting
So-
with the select board because we're going.
Right.
oh,
So by that point, you can discuss it because it's already been discussed.
okay,
in front of the
we're
board.
not meeting till the 8th. for
Okay,
finance.
and
Okay,
this committee is going to be adjourned as of tonight.
Right,
Well,
okay.
as of the selectmen's meeting,
Should we adjourn it tonight, or should we,
not till the selectmen's meeting.
exactly, we should do a continuation.
Right, so our next meeting will be February 6th,
Right.
which will be a cold meeting with the Board of Selectmen
Right,
at 6 PM.
Rephrase, so we have, rephrase it. for me.
Yep, so we're gonna meet with the
Okay.
Board of Selectmen
Okay, on the
on
6th.
February 6th
Okay.
at 6 PM.
Okay,
Tell them our final plan.
okay.
We're not gonna
Gotcha.
give, we're gonna rank, we're gonna put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Okay.
whatever they are.
how did
Okay.
you?
We're going to show them the spreadsheet, what we're recommending.
All right.
We are gonna make like notes, if money, like this can be split, this can go to bond, this can
Okay.
go to whatever. See what they have to happen. And then it's going to be a co-meeting. At the end of the co-meeting, we're gonna say, we've completed,
Recommendation.
we completed our recommendations and now want to disband as a capital meeting. Now that we're disband on the 8th, when you
You
two
can
get
discuss
together,
We
You
can
can
discuss
discuss
it.
as much as
Okay.
you want,
All right.
is what you're not
Okay,
as part of capital planning anymore.
okay.
And you're done. You can just go party,
Yeah, right, I'll be at the big.
okay?
Cleaning,
Make sense?
Yeah,
We all
February
in
6th.
agreement?
yes.
I
Okay.
agree.
All you have to do is, well, first of all, so the next meeting is going to be scheduled for Tuesday, February 6th. It's going to be a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen
At 6
at
p.m.
6 p.m.
1,800 hours.
With finance and
That works for me.
capital, I guess, right?
Yeah,
At that time,
Finance will be there too.
I like to make a motion, you just have to say so moved,
Mhm.
that we present to the Board of Selectmen at that meeting the
Recommendation.
recommendations as discussed for the capital plans.
So moved.
as you said.
So moved.
And so moved.
Zach, do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to
Adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn at 5:10.
Works for me. I got paint night at the B.
So moved.
Oh, so moved, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the meeting's adjourned.